Welcome back to 2014 FFG's Worlds Tournament.
Yep, here we are.
This is the finals. I'm Chris Beck.
I'm Frank Brooks.
Gosh, we're excited. Got to get the jitters out. We're about to show you the finals for this match. We have got an absolutely wonderful pairing for you today. Flying for the Rebels, we've got Paul Heaver.
Returning world champ from last
Returning world champ. He is flying a Fat Han with a small Tala Squadron swarm of Z95s at a full 100 points. And we're going up against
Reid. He's our Australian national champion.
He was in the round we were just watching, an absolute nail biter.
Oh man, and the one right before that was literally down to the last roll.
He's going to be flying Whisper Phantom with Veteran Instincts, Fire Control System, Rebel Captive, and
Advanced Cloaking Device.
Advanced Cloaking Device with a small swarm led by Howl Runner. So, in my opinion, this is an awesome, absolute pinnacle match. Epitomizes all of the discussions on the meta.
Oh yeah, this really represents it. I mean, this whole wave was dominated by Phantoms and Falcons, and the Phantom was something to fear, and everyone felt like the Falcon was the counter to it. And this is what we come to.
So I love it, and you mentioned the counter to it. It feels like both of these lists were built to beat each other.
Yeah.
Fat Han stacked with C-3PO, R2-D2, two crew members that are meant to give Han those defensive boosts, help him turtle.
The survivability he needs, yeah.
And then the three Z95s meant to take on anything else.
Yep.
And then you have on the other side Whisper, who's a surgeon of a pilot meant to dance around, and with Veteran Instincts, he's at pilot skill 9?
Yeah, well,
so
she is at 9.
She is. So we have Han Solo at 9, Whisper at 9, and it looks like, based on the point score, that
Morgan is going to have initiative.
Morgan's going to have initiative.
He's going to take it.
So he's going to be shooting at Han before Han gets a shot.
Yeah, it was really critical that he saved the points there, because if he'd let Paul take it, Paul could shoot before he could cloak. That's a real big game changer there.
Do you have any pregame predictions?
Oh, I don't know if I wanted. I don't know if I want to, but it's crazy. I could go either way. I mean, the rest of Paul's list is able to deal with the rest of Morgan's list as far as the four ships on the 4 ships. I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one.
I absolutely love it, and we're gonna get some really classic play here. We're pooling from all the waves. It feels like we have some Wave 1 components with these Academy ties in Morgan Reid's list, and then we're skipping all the way to Wave 4 with Whisper.
Yep.
And we're doing exactly the same thing with Paul Heaver's list.
Doing some Wave 4, some Wave 2, there's some Tantive upgrades in there as well.
Some just a fantastic spread of all of the upgrades, all of the ships we're offering. Giddy.
I know, this is going to be great. I'm very excited for this.
So, what can we expect from Morgan as a strategy for taking down this Fat Han list? What does Morgan want to do with his list?
Well, he needs to be really careful with Whisper. I mean, Paul's going to do his best to have those Talas block the decloaks. But it was a pivotal part of last game,
right,
where the Academy ties were able to barrel roll boost, well, not boost, but barrel and whatnot to try to get in and block his decloaks. Most of the match, he had at least 1 or 2 or even all 3 of his decloaks blocked, and he had to. Morgan played very well, and every time that he had every decloak blocked, he was able to plan ahead and just have done a large maneuver to get out of there.
Right.
Morgan's a very good player. I think he'll be able to deal with it, though, because the Talas don't have barrel. They're going to have a harder time blocking. But yeah, if he does lose his actions, if he's not able to get a shot off to get that cloak again, it's a big deal, because Han does move second here. So if Whisper moves anticipating where Han's going to be, being his only target,
Sure.
and can't get the shot off, then he can't cloak again. And yeah, there could be some really important plays there.
So Howl Runner and the Academy Tie's job is going to be, I think, to peel off and engage those Talas to leave Whisper wide open. That seems pretty clear. Han just needs to blow away ships.
Oh yeah,
That's what he's built for.
yeah. Every turn, if he can pop a tie every turn, that's gonna really turn it in his favor.
Excellent. I'm not exactly sure what we're waiting for, but it feels like both players probably need some time to
Yeah, Morgan just got done there.
decompress.
Yeah, he didn't get any food after that last round, so
Awesome.
I don't know if that was part of it or not. Yeah, this version of Han doesn't have push, obviously, so his actions aren't as necessary potentially. The boost is important, engine upgrade, but Morgan might be using those Academy ties to try to pin down and block Han. To try to mess things up. A really important part from his previous matches was having Rebel captive on Whisper. They'll shoot, they'll miss, they'll be stressed. Yeah, it's very strong control element.
Right now we're doing something that many players may overlook the importance of, but it's a custom in gameplay, is to let your opponents know what you're playing against, if it wasn't already obvious by the components laid on the table. But it's a way to not be caught by surprise.
Yeah.
It's a way to start thinking about potential strategies.
Yep. Yeah.
But it first and foremost, it's a courtesy thing. I'd love to see like somebody going ahead and asking for a count of those damage cards.
Yeah.
I really need to confirm that you do indeed have 7 direct hits and not 8 in there, or 6.
Yeah, we did a count at I believe at the top 32. There's only like one person had a problem. It was like they had extra. It was like damage sense array, like a really bad crit. So it was actually to their disadvantage to have an incorrect damage deck. But we fixed it, and everyone was good.
Excellent. So what are these players playing for, other than that very nice looking statue in the lower left hand corner?
Well, at the very least, Paul is defending his championship, so
Sure.
he'll maintain that for another year. But usually, we always have the player who wins design a card with us. We'll be involved with some design. Usually, we'll be very communicative as far as what's coming up in the future of X-Wing, and they'll be aware of the new things before they're out.
Oh, that's a treat.
Yes. Yeah, and they'll be at least minor celebrities by being the world champions as well.
Oh, I had quite a few people today try to apply some secrets for me, and I had to stay stoic. I had to be kind of tight-lipped. You know, I would love to talk about the things that we have coming up.
Oh, me too.
And that was my biggest worry in volunteering to do this. Like, I've got a big mouth. I'm really excited about some of the things that are coming up for us, especially for X-Wing, my absolute favorite game.
Oh yes. I'm always a little hesitant when I'm talking about the future because I sort of forget where we are currently and what's been announced and where we are. But I'm really looking forward to Scum. That's really going to change up how everything goes down. Next year is going to be a completely different thing.
Well, it feels like it's going to completely shake up the meta, having another faction available. are we worried that it might water down sort of the classic feel of the Rebel versus Empire fight?
I could see that. At the very least, there's going to be a lot of ships that are shared. So, at the very least, at the beginning, we're going to have 3 ships that are shared between Rebels and Scum, and 1 Imperial one. So it'll feel, at least physically, it'll feel like they're more like a Rebel faction. But as the abilities come out, they'll really build up into their own thing.
Now, can you help clarify a little bit when that new faction comes out? For people who are interested in playing competitively or semi-competitively, there are restrictions on how those ships can be used, right?
Yeah.
You have to stay faction pure?
Yep. You have to. It is going to be purely its own thing. It's not like a neutral faction that can be used by both sides. It is its own unique, coherent entity.
I got to be honest, I'm a little bummed because one of my favorite combinations is Boba Fett with Suter Fel. I'm not going to get to play that because, well, I can if I want to stay on the Imperial side of Boba Fett, but I freaking love Boba Fett's new abilities coming towards us.
Yeah, he's going to be quite a beast out there.
What do you think is going to be the Scum and Villainies purpose in tournament play, in competitive play?
Well, at the very least, I know the Hawk has some really dirtbag type abilities. They're all low brows, I guess. They'll steal stuff from people. They'll lower your pilot skill. They'll beat you while you're down. It'll have a lot of the abilities will feel like they're really highlighting that element of just being jerks. Mm-hmm. You'll see some abilities that feel like, oh, that could have been a Rebel ability, but it's phrased in such a way or works in such a way that it feels more thematically like it's a Scum ability.
Oh, I have a 1, yeah.
As a general pattern, they'll tend to have lower shields than Rebels, but more than Imperials tend to. So I think they'll feel like their own unique thing.
I love the concept of action stealing, stealing a focus token from your enemy.
Yep.
You're gonna get some cranky people when you steal that acrylic focus from somebody. No, you're gonna have to use your own focus for that. I'm really interested to see if gameplay and competitive play shifts that much.
Yeah.
But those ships that faction will be legal in the next competitive round of play, correct?
Oh yeah. As soon as they come out, as soon as you can buy them in stores, they're going to be usable. So
excellent.
Shouldn't be too long, but it's not coming out soon.
Nope.
So yeah, as we can see here, Paul wrote an article you may have read about the asteroid deployment and how pivotal it was during his final match last year. Everyone that plays this game very competitively takes their time and really considers where the asteroids are going to go, where they anticipate going around them, and trying to control their opponent's movement. The game really starts during the asteroid deployment.
It's interesting to me because we had an opportunity to stream a match between the 13-year-old Nathan from Wisconsin that against I'm forgetting who he played against, but it was a pretty highly anticipated match. But both players kind of decided to move the asteroids off the opposite side of the table and joust. And I later asked Nathan, well, "Why'd you do that?" And with 13-year-old honesty, I just don't like asteroids. I don't want to fly around them. And, my opponent didn't want to either, so I just decided to kind of put him over there.
That's great.
Like, okay.
I guess that works.
That's fantastic if it works for you.
Yeah, I mean, he had 4 ships. Sometimes it's hard to avoid them, and just put them to the side, I suppose.
And that's a mentality that's in stark contrast to what we have here, there's some significant deliberation.
Oh, yes.
It feels like there's quite a bit of like extraneous minutia.
Yeah.
Where exactly is this asteroid going to go? But what do you think Paul is thinking about as he's placing these asteroids? What is he trying to do?
Well, he's trying to control where those ties drop down. It's very easy for him to just deploy straight up and fly in block formation. So as you can see, he's kind of put like a wall there across the middle. So an easy play for Morgan is to just deploy along one of the alleys on the edge. But having seen him play his previous matches, as you can see here, he's just lining up in the middle. He's not afraid of those asteroids. He's very good at barrel rolling and planning his maneuvers. I think he can go through if he needs to. He's not afraid.
So we have some player stats for you, some very basic vitals. Paul Heaver, he's sitting at a 6-0 schedule right now. Awesome. He's won 6 games today. This is game number 7. His average opponents, they were ranked 4-2. So he's fought against some very tough players.
Oh yeah.
He was 2013's world champion. He's playing against Morgan Reid, also sitting at a schedule of 6-0. So this is his 7th game. He's the Australian national champion. We're at the very initial strategy stages now of ship placement. I would love to make a prediction for you, but I think I want to see both of these guys win.
Yeah, I would not be disappointed. Honestly,
I that obviously can't happen, but I think this match was made for each other.
This is great. I like how we always end up with Rebels Imperials at the end. Like, if you saw any of the seating, it's not planned at all. But
no.
Honestly, we couldn't have planned it better. So this is great. Okay, so it looks here that Paul is deploying in the side, denying his opponent the flank. We'll see whether he turns in through that gap in the asteroid there, or whether he'll just go straight in along the edge. He's deploying that one on a side because he's gonna either do a bank or a turn probably as his initial placement to stay right along that edge. He's denying his opponent the capacity to K-turn around him, because if Morgan turns to face Paul's Talas there, he's going to be at an angle, or he's going to be at 45 or 90 degrees, as we said now. If he times it right or wrong, I guess in this case, and is facing him at a 90-degree angle, he can't K-turn past them. So he's going to have to shoot and turn. So I imagine that's what Paul's trying to do here.
I think it's fascinating. We're getting a chance to see both players place their ships in very specific orientations. Even from this angle, I can tell you from my limited play experience that the TIE fighters are set up in a pinwheel.
Yep.
And what that's going to allow them to do is turn, as long as they're not making hard turns, if they're banking correctly, they should be able to maintain that formation or something very close to it for quite some time. And that's exactly what Morgan is looking for, is a tight cluster of his fighters, so he can concentrate fire and get Howl Runner's bonus, as much mileage out of that bonus as possible.
So this is it was really important here. So as we could tell, since Morgan placed the Phantom down first, he did have initiative. I guess we could have figured it out from the asteroids, but nonetheless, it's really important here because Paul has the option of going for the flank on the complete opposite side, trying to go through the asteroids or be right there next to his Talas. So it looks like he's gonna sneak up there along the side as well.
Me personally, I think if I was Paul, I'd try to go after that Phantom, something fierce.
Yeah.
I'd dare that Phantom to come after me.
It's certainly the scariest part of his list for sure. Oh, a nice friendly handshake there. Ooh, 2 rows deep.
Thank you all very much in Internet land for joining us. This is the finals for X-Wing 2014 World's Championship. For those who are joining us, the person speaking is Chris Beck.
And I'm Frank Brooks.
And we are just about to start the final match between Morgan Reid and Paul Heavers, Imperials versus Rebels, respectively. A Whisper mini swarm against a Fat Han and Tala swarm.
Yep.
In my opinion, based on limited experience, diametrically opposed lists built to attack each other, built to counter each other.
They both are going along the same philosophy of having one scary unit in your list that takes up almost half your points, and then a little mini swarm of little dudes, as many as you can fit in there. So Paul could have shorted himself a couple points and taken bandits instead, but it would have only saved him 3 points. In the previous round, his opponent had actually gone for only having bandits instead, and it may have been what costed him.
Some interesting trivia. Paul played almost exactly the same list, but there was one attachment that was just a tad different.
Yep.
And that attachment was a gunner instead of R2-D2.
Yeah.
It was actually a more expensive attachment than R2-D2 was. His hope was to capitalize on attack rerolls.
Yep.
Try to make those attacks as potent as possible. It's ironic to me that an attachment that was 1 point more expensive was essentially what cost him the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long game to watch.
It was. Yeah, the big deal is R2-D2 was able to recover him a bunch of shields during that match because he just plink away one, recover the one. Plink away one, recover the one.
It was literally those two fat hands against each other.
Yep.
All the other ships were gone on both sides.
Yeah,
and we had 2 full health YT-1300 Falcons flying at each other. And it was just that one tiny advantage of R2-D2 rebuilding those shields at no cost.
Yep.
And it was outlast.
Yeah, so long as he doesn't flip those damage cards, it's not getting any worse for him. All right, looks like he probably did the same maneuver with every ship, because that's usually what you do when you're in that pinwheel. Yep, looks like one turns. One unfortunate part when you're sticking with the pinwheel is that it does, even though Hell Runner is going to move much later on the turn here, everyone knows where Hell Runner is going to be, also doing a one turn, also going to focus.
Have you personally, either in play or in play testing, experimented with these tight swarm formations before?
Oh yeah. We're very aware of this being a very strong element of the game. So we've done our best to get as good as we can with it. I feel rather competent. Having seen a lot of people play swarms, though, I'm sure they could be better than me.
I have never actually played a swarmy list past the very initial original Sinister Six of the original the original 6 named TIE fighters.
Yeah.
I'm a little too addicted to ship special named pilot ship abilities.
Yeah.
I like to toy with them. They're special for a reason. I want to use them.
Oh yeah.
It's hard for me to commit to the use of any generic pilot.
Yeah.
What's your favorite play style?
Wow.
If you could pick one, I mean, I know you're one of the developers.
Yeah.
You love.
I love everything.
Most of everything going on in this game.
Yes, I do.
But if you were to play a friendly game against me, not knowing really anything about my play style, what would you like to play with?
Whew, that's a really great question. I really love interceptors. I love interceptors. I love A-Wings too. They have very similar dials. I mean, their dial is literally one maneuver color different. Like, they're almost the same thing, but Yeah, I love having that ability to go wherever the hell I want. I'd probably have A-Wings, especially since I was the lead developer in Rebel Aces. I just love how those A-Wings turned out after that.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
excited. I'd probably fly A-Wings.
Well, you know what? I think you and I are going to have to play a game against each other because my two favorite ships are the Interceptor and the Fire Sprite. So we should put together
for sure.
We should put together a couple of lists.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Lunchtime. We have just enough time at our company lunches to get a full game in, as long as one of us doesn't deliberate too hard on the dial side.
I think so long as we don't run too many TIE swarms, we should be able to resolve the game during lunch.
Well, I like what I'm seeing here as far as ship placement. I really wanted Han to come out aggressive, and it looks like he's going to do that. Trying to beat the initiative of player. I think Han wants to go after it and just destroy that Phantom.
Yeah, I mean that little tie block there can really chew through the Falcon's health pretty quickly. That one agility just can't help you if you get hit pinged all the time. So it looks like he's trying to intentionally bait away the ties with the Talas. We'll see how Morgan responds to that.
Already it's an interesting situation because if those TIE fighters decide to pinwheel again and meet the Falcon in the middle of those rocks, well, then those Talas are going to have an awesome opportunity to turn in and take some unmolested shots.
Exactly.
That's an aspect of the game that I really enjoy, is the bait and switch. I've mentioned several times before on some of these coverages that I've done that my favorite part of this game has nothing to do with shooting at my opponent. It has nothing to do with special ship upgrades. It has everything to do with the task at hand now of planning these maneuvers and trying to outthink my opponent, trying to anticipate where my opponent's going to go.
Yeah.
I love the anticipation. It's funny, I love the stress
yeah.
that I feel when my
Yeah.
palms get a little sweaty and I start thinking really hard about what I need to do to trap my opponent. I could lose. I can say this confidently. I can lose every game.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a good time plotting my moves and pulling off like fun little maneuvers around rocks, I love it.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me feel better than perfectly maneuvering this giant fire spray through a cluster of asteroids.
Oh yeah.
Even if I don't get a shot, I still love it.
Yeah, you really feel like you're on top of the world when you're able to safely maneuver, be within millimeters of asteroids. Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, being able to anticipate your opponent's maneuver is really what makes this game, makes you want to come back to it time and time again. I've been working on this game for almost like 2 years now, and some days I think I'm getting sick of it, but then I'll play another game and I go, man, I really love this game. It stays fun. It's great.
So I asked Alex the very same question I'm about to ask you.
Oh boy.
How many games do you think you've played? How many full games? Not just we play tested this particular aspect and we have to call it and do something else.
Yeah.
But how many full games, play test or fun, do you think you've played?
Well, on a slow week, I'll have played no games. On a dense week, I'll play maybe 15 games. So I don't know. Maybe I'm averaging about 4 games a week. Let's see, and I've been doing this for like 2 years. Let's see, how many weeks per year? 15. Oh man, wow, that's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games. Alex said over 300.
Oh yeah, oh easily.
Is that an easy estimate?
Yeah. I mean, we both play a lot. We don't always play at the same time because we have rotating interns. We'll have other internal people we play with. Some of our external playtesters that live locally, we'll play with them as well. But yeah, I'd say easily over 300 games.
Makes me curious how many games these people have
Oh,
these players have played. I mean, I keep coming back to this young man Nathan from Wisconsin,
Yep.
the 13-year-old. He's one of the youngest, both in age but in experienced players I've ever met. He says he's only been playing since January of this year.
Wow, yeah.
So he's competing at championship levels
Yeah.
in under a year.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to the German national champion, and he said he started playing in like February, I believe.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and did well enough that he got here. He says the game's been slowly developing over in Germany. People are not really doing too many too many stress effects. But he was saying that the game is really evolving over there. I'm really excited to see all of these international participants. It's really great for this game.
Now, in many cases, when we have these players coming from other places internationally, they're being sponsored either by their local leagues or their local game stores to come here. But they're not on a pro tour. They're still doing this for fun. They're still taking time out of their normal schedules to come here and play games with us.
Yeah.
And that is a fantastic and really humbling experience.
Yeah.
We are so fortunate here in Roseville, Minnesota, very close to the Twin Cities, to have such a vibrant and lively
Local community.
Yeah,
for sure.
But we've still got attendees from states and states away, attendees from Florida, attendees from Iowa, Wisconsin,
Kansas.
easy, Kansas. I think I met someone from Washington State, Canada, absolutely.
Some Texas people.
Texas, Australia, Netherlands, France, Germany.
Yep. Sweden.
We're talking about a very diverse collection of people united in their love of games, and specifically this wonderful game.
This is
so. I just want everyone out there to know we at FFG, both the full-time employees and the volunteers, we thrive on this opportunity to give you access to such an awesome gaming opportunity. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very close here to a combat round.
Ooh, I think we might have somebody in range. I'm not sure.
It's close. This Falcon is playing a fun game, coming through these asteroids here. Yep, he's going to make his first attack on that TIE fighter. We've got
looks like 2 hits.
2 hits with a reroll. 3 hits. 3 hits against
focus. 1 damage.
3 hits against 2 evades, so 1 damage on that lead TIE fighter. Most likely an Academy pilot.
Yeah, I believe Hell Runner's in the back right there. You can see his little token there. He uses for swarm tactics to denote which ship he's going to be shooting at pilot skill 8 as well. I think it's handy for your opponent as well as to remind yourself, after you've shot with everything else and you're like, what pilot skill are we at? That guy already shot at 8, so he's not going to be shooting with the other 2 academies.
All these lucky players, all their acrylic tokens, so jealous.
Yeah, Morgan has his Australian National Championship red maneuver templates there. And I believe Paul has his from last year as well, those red ones.
So we just had a long shot from that Swarmed Tactics Academy pilot shooting at Han at distance 3. That's why Han got that extra dice. Did he take a damage? How many shields does Han start with?
5.
5. So yeah, that's 1 shield plinked off.
It's a start.
You got to take Han out.
You do.
I mean, he is most of the list.
He is.
And that has to be Morgan's strategy. And he'll take every shot he can, even if it's at range 3 with two attack dice. But every shot counts. He's going to have a hard time with the defensive loadout, though, once he gets closer, with R2-D2 being able to regen shields as a crew member, and C-3PO, once he starts turtling, but I want to see those Tala Squadron pilots cut in and distract things.
Yeah, honestly, you can see that Paul has done a very good long-term strategy here, since he's really set himself up for a good position, because Morgan has to make a decision at this point. Is it worth just going after those Talas, turn everybody there, expose his side to Han, or turn everybody after Han and expose his rear to Talas? It's really, I mean, it's a lose-lose, but he's got to make a decision. The Phantom is on the right side there, which might mean after all the ties move, he'll just decloak to the left, which is the right on the screen here.
I'm not sure he's cloaked though. I mean, we're
Oh
not.
yeah, it's true. He's no token there.
I think he rammed that
Oh,
initial
yeah.
Academy pilot, so he
Good point.
lost his ability to act. That puts him in a troublesome spot with the Falcon halfway across the board now. I think he's going to have to come out defensively, break from this formation, and try to jump to the other side of that Falcon.
Possibly. I mean, if they all do two straights forwards, or at least the Academy tie in front of him, since Morgan has initiative, he'll be able to shoot at Han, recloak, get that focus, and tank up for Paul's counterattack. With that in mind, it seems likely that Morgan's going to have to go for Han, or at least he's going to be very concerned about Han being right there. Ideally, the Phantom would want to do a one bank, probably. Doesn't want to get too close to those asteroids, but he doesn't have a one bank on his dial. He might have to do a two bank if he wants to guarantee. I mean, Paul does have an engine upgrade on Han, so he could do a rather quick maneuver and then still be able to boost. I think there's enough space there for him to do a boost to the left, or if he goes, oh man, it's that cluster in the middle there.
I mean, you saw how they were mathing those asteroids out.
Yes.
I think what Han has to do to avoid this asteroid here is a hard right maneuver.
No, that certainly will avoid it.
But that's going to put him right in the mouth of a swarm situation. Gosh.
Yeah.
If I was that swarm, knowing where Han has to... I guess Han could also chance the asteroid by doing a straight 4 to clear it.
Yep. He could, if it's worth it to still get the shot, he could hit the asteroid, or at least overlap it with his template, be able to attack this turn, and then he looks like it's a straight shot. He could just keep going and never lose an attack. That's going to be really important for Paul, to never end his turn on an asteroid.
I would just be... Something I just thought of. It looks like there's enough space if Han could do it. A bank 1 with a reversed bank 1 boost on the other side to end up roughly in the middle of the 4 asteroids on the left.
Wow.
That is so close. That's gutsy.
It is.
But I want to see it happen. I think it'll work. I think there's just enough of an angle created by that bank 1 to make it happen.
Yeah, honestly, the banks with those large bases are the hardest thing to predict in the game. That's how I feel when I'm flying them. That bank turn there, the top right corner there might hit that front asteroid. I mean, it's a really far maneuver.
I think bank 1 would do it. I think bank 2 is a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it's tense.
I don't know if I would chance the hard right to absolutely miss that asteroid.
Yeah.
I don't know, from this angle, perhaps a straight. God, it's so much fun. This is perfect for me.
This is wonderful.
I would love being right here in this game here. Yep.
3-bank, interesting. Oh no, this is great, because Morgan can also 3-bank with the Phantom. They're not going to hit. He'll shoot. He'll cloak. He'll be able to get around that asteroid. This is going to be really solid for him. Yep, all of them going after Han.
So, those TIE fighters are committing.
Yep. So it really depends on whether Paul went for the large play and the boost to get through, or whether he's gonna just go right at range 1. That could be terrible. Oh man, we won't have to wait long.
Those Talas are going to get a chance to help Han out. They're not going to have
Yeah, I was like, if you
much of a strong attack against those TIE pilots. They have the same attack value of 2 red dice, but they're gonna be completely unmolested.
True.
That is something to consider. They're not going to be jousting.
Well, that's assuming that. I mean, because Whisper could always decloak to the left and go after the Talons all by himself or herself. I mean, that's what's so crazy about the Phantom. It's so hard to know.
God, that would be fun to watch, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A complete crisscross or reversal of these units, high-powered units going after low-powered units, or being hunted by low-powered units.
Yeah.
And then
Oh wow.
the reverse happening.
Yeah, this is a big. Oh, okay.
Nope, Phantom's
Oh,
committing.
he wasn't cloaked. He couldn't decloak. Never mind. I completely forgot. All right. Yep. So he's gonna be able to. There's nothing Han can do to get out of that arc, really. Yep. Goes for the evade.
And the Phantom's looking to make a mess here. Yes.
Ah.
Yes. He tried it. It's gonna be clean. Maybe.
Oh boy. Hold it still.
Holy cow!
Wow.
What a maneuver! That's excellent.
Wow, that's a great.
That's excellent.
Wow.
Oh, now the asteroid's moved.
But I think it's okay. I think they're. I think
Come
we
on,
made it.
come on.
I think we made it.
Come on.
We'll see here.
What's the ruling?
I think we're good.
We're considering.
Oh, yep.
We're
he's
boosting.
Fine. He's gonna try to boost. He can't fit. He can do a different one. He can go to the left instead. Go straight. I don't quite think he makes it. It's hard to tell, obviously, but
What a
man.
What a freaking move, though.
Oh, jeez. That was ballsy.
If he wants to stay out of Whisper's arc, he has to boost forward or boost to the left.
What a hard thing to call.
Or he could stay in it and focus and just try to deal some damage.
Honestly, I think he's got to boost. He's got to go straight, because otherwise he's getting so many attacks. Although he has that asteroid for coverage,
Is the straight boost though even going to help him?
it's going to get him out of a couple arcs. I think the front 2 ties aren't going to have a shot then, or at least if they do, it's certainly range 3 through an asteroid with 2 ties. They're basically immune to that damage.
Okay, so we're doing
the
a
one straight.
left boost.
It was a straight. It was a straight
Nope,
boost.
I didn't see it.
That's right,
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
right. Excellent.
Wow.
What a play.
What a play. Man, that was the hardest thing to judge. It's like a 6 distance maneuver to judge from that corner all the way to that asteroid. And if he'd messed that up, loses attack, loses action, that would have been just a huge swing against him. So
the Phantom is
Cool.
gonna get a shot. It'll be range 3 through an asteroid.
I'll run a reroll.
Nothing. So
Looks
2
like
hits.
Hits there. Gets fire control lock there.
So the Falcon's gonna get 3 dice.
Oh, wow.
3 dice to roll with here. Amazing action.
He's probably not going to use 3PO here. I don't think he did. Looks like 1 damage. Gets the recloak in the focus.
are basically anybody. Okay.
Interesting. He
And
did
they're all
not.
gonna be through rocks.
He did not assign the focus afterwards. Oh, it's after an attack that hits, which I guess it did.
The damaged one. Let's keep
Interesting.
shooting it to then. Range 3 through a rocket.
Oh, he's not going for the Falcon, the Phantom there. Using Predator reroll to get 2 dice because it's Academy at pilots get 1. Looks like 2 hits.
Plenty of dodge right there.
Yeah, so much. I mean, range 3 through an asteroid, you can't get more than that.
But we've got a fantastic situation
Wow.
for Paul Heaver here. He's gonna have a kind of reverse pincer situation on these Academy pilots and on Whisper. Whisper's going to be pretty maneuverable, but I do not like the situation being caught in the middle of an asteroid field with unmolested attacks from those from those Z95s.
Yeah. Well, he's all focused up, so I don't expect much damage from this, but you never know.
I'm looking at next round for
Oh yeah, it's gonna get much worse.
I think it's gonna be a mess.
Unfortunately, he's put himself in a predicament with those academy ties there. I mean, getting out of this situation without having to break formation is virtually impossible unless he's willing to hit some asteroids.
Let's start with the back guy. See who can push you there.
Determining some range here. Looks like just enough there to shoot. Looks like he can dodge that rock.
I'm still reeling from that awesome straight four that Falcon pulled.
Yeah.
Holy cow! In my head, I was like, if
He's not gonna do it.
If I'm flying it, I would do it, but he's not going to do it.
There's no way.
That's a little too gutsy.
Yeah.
But awesome. A man after my own heart. Excellent.
Incredible.
I'm gonna I have to play his list at least once.
Oh yeah.
Just
fun.
Just to try to remake that. That was pretty sweet.
I really like how that laser pointer pops on this playmat here. It's like reminds me of the line of scrimmage almost.
We got some serious play here. I would like to think if I was at the final table, I'd choose a fly casual mentality.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
I'll explain what that is in a moment for those of you uninitiated. But this is the last game of the competitive season. This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
You can't afford to fudge some of these measurements.
Yeah.
Or to be too forgiving to your opponent if they make a mistake. I heard some over talking. It kind of sounded like sour grapes to me. One player was lamenting, I was playing this one particular list and I didn't want to win under the certain circumstances, and that's why I'm not sitting at the final table.
Well,
that's why you're not sitting at the final table, because you were being a nice guy. And yeah, that I think that's a great thing to claim, but there's I can honestly say I think I would turn just a little shark-like coming towards the end of these matches.
Yeah, it's these last matches are always way more intense because it's it. You can't mess up. But like you're saying, the fly casual attitude is really what makes this community so great. Everyone's pretty chill. I mean, it's a minis game, so at the end of the day, you're gonna touch stuff. Asteroids are gonna move. Ships are gonna be joggled a little bit. We'll have ships that were parallel at the beginning of the game. They kept going straight, and then they're at an angle, and it's gonna happen.
So the mantra "fly casual" was something. Obviously, it's a quote.
Yes.
From Return of the Jedi. Han says it to Chewie as they are making their risky descent to Endor.
Yep. Flying past the Super Star Destroyer.
But our X-Wing community has adopted it to sort of epitomize a style of play in which playing friendly games, being considerate, even being forgiving.
Yes.
To the player sitting across the table, allowing for recounts, for taking actions when actions were missed, and being quite lenient on the moving of asteroids and subtle shifts in ships in an effort to encourage a positive gameplay.
Yeah, I think an excellent example of this was at Gen Con this year. There was a point where Jeff Burling was willing to let his opponent take his cloak after he attacked. They had moved on, and it was a Phantom at range 1 of a Falcon, and he forgot to recloak afterwards, and they'd moved on, and he was like, "Oh man, I forgot to do it. I attacked and I forgot." And he, fly casual. He was like, "That's fine, man. I knew you would have done it. Why would you have not done it?" And he let him take it back, and it was pretty big. I mean, Jeff ended up losing that match, but it was, it's really great that he's such a good guy and willing to let his opponent do that sort of thing.
I think a vast majority of the players that we've seen at this tournament have, even if they didn't say it or commit to using that mentality.
Yeah, like saying they adopted the philosophy.
They're probably still playing with it.
Yeah.
These people playing X-Wing are some of the friendliest I've ever met.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I could be quite so friendly in the semifinals and finals.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that.
Like, no, I'm not gonna let you cloak that Phantom. You're at range 1 of my Falcon right now.
It's a 4-dice attack.
I want to blow you away. I'm sorry. I'll buy you. How about this? I'll buy you a beer after I blow away that Phantom.
Yeah.
I'll fly casual on the way home.
Yep.
That's the best I can offer anybody. It's a good thing I'm not in the tournament.
Right. If you didn't know, we at our game center we actually do sell beer, so we could actually get you a beer after the game. All right.
Gosh, so much deliberation, but
man.
you have to in this
do.
situation. This is the final game of the competitive season.
Yeah.
These guys are in the Imperial players in a pretty awkward
predicament, yeah.
pretty awkward spot. Are we even timing
No.
this game?
This is untimed.
This game will take as long as it needs to determine a winner.
Yeah.
And Frank and I are in here for the long haul with you folks.
Oh, we got this.
Thank you so much for joining us. Feel free on the streaming chat to ask us questions if they occur to you. Feel free to come by if you're listening at home and you're just a couple of blocks away from Roseville. If you want to come see what all the excitement's about. Otherwise, we'd love to hear your thoughts on our X-Wing forums. FFG employees, we're on there all the time. We can't spend a lot of time commenting, but we love to stay in touch with the conversation that you folks are having about our favorite game.
Yep.
So blast us with questions, with comments, but better yet, plan on being here next year.
Yeah.
We had just over 250 people playing in the X-Wing games here at Worlds. I don't know if we could actually accommodate this.
I don't know.
But I want to see 300 X-Wing players at
Whoa.
Worlds. We would have to do 3 flights.
Yeah.
But we'd do it if there was that much interest.
Oh yeah.
I can't say with 100% certainty, but I know our OP, that is our organized play folks, would love that logistical problem.
Oh yeah.
What?
Too many people are interested.
Too many people like X-Wing? What the heck? we want to see it happen.
Oh yeah. I would not mind that. Okay.
We're just gonna have to hire a few more judges.
Well, we have started a new judge program where people that are interested in officiating some of our more important events like regionals are going to be able to qualify to be official judges. And it's a new thing we're rolling out. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Excellent. Now look at this.
Oh man, he is splitting up his pinwheel there.
Look at this.
Pretty radical. Let's see. So Hell Runner's there right next to Whisper.
Do you think Howl Runner's going to stick next to Whisper, or do you think Howl Runner's going to hold with the rest of his TIE Fighter wingman?
It's a good question. I feel like he might try to, because that one barrel rolled after the turn there, so it seems unlikely that he'll be able to affect more than one ship with his Howl Runner reroll this turn. But he needs to be careful. I mean, it's a big deal. She also has swarm tactics, so 20 points there, as well as just having that extra ship shooting before the Talas. Losing her early game, is a pretty big deal.
Look at that Tala trying to sneak in, creating a hard batch of choices for Whisper here.
Again, this is a long-term thing. That maneuver was not going to be able to shoot much, but he's thinking his next turn. Being in that position really opens up where he can defend. If Howl Runner does a turn or bank to the left, then that Tala will be right on his back.
I love the look of this. These Talas, it feels like they're going to thread some needles and block a lot of attacks from these TIE fighters that were trying to position to come after them. They're going to be placed in a fantastic situation to swoop in.
Oh man,
and stay behind.
I mean, that was pretty important play with his academies. I mean, the one pilot skill is really good at blocking, like he did. Both those Talas lost their actions, which means that they won't have modified attacks. Both of his ties that are going to be able to be attacked by those are both going to be able to defend, and he won't be able to modify his attacks. That was really sharp play there.
But if those Talas can stay alive, and they are going to get a chance to shoot before at least one of those TIE fighters, they're going to take open shots at Howl Runner almost guaranteed.
Yeah, if they're not, well, I can't kill both. It depends what the Phantom does always, but it's almost impossible for both of those Talas to die before they can shoot. So yeah, Howl Runner's going to be taking some shots this turn. Important decision though. I mean, he's probably not going to barrel, but he could. Interesting. It's dangerous. Either way, he's going to hit an asteroid.
Barrel rolling just sets him up for a heartache next movie.
But he can get out of the arc. He can get out of that. I might be able to get out of that one.
He can get out of one Talas arc. He can't get out of the other. That's too close.
Ooh, but he might actually get a rock from the other one, so he gets an extra defense die and blocks an attack. I mean, this is. Or you go the other way. Get a rock on both of them.
That pretty much guarantees.
Oh, he can't avoid it. He's going to hit that asteroid, but he's completely willing.
Oh, gutsy.
Wow.
Well, that's what you got to do if you want to save him.
Oh, that was the big deal.
And the Phantom's
coming up.
The Phantom's coming in.
That's why I needed to move.
Phantom wants to stay away from the Falcon. Probably going to shoot at a Tala and recloak.
Interesting.
I'm sensing a hard one. I mean, he makes it.
Yeah,
he totally makes it.
Totally makes it.
Love it.
It's really close.
You can't fit a credit card at that. Oh, but is this hard one going to prevent an action?
That's all right. After this, I mean, he has the Howl Runner for reroll. That was the other nice thing about putting Howl Runner right there, is he'll be able to get that reroll with Whisper, have 5 dice attack, get a target lock and a focus. It's gonna be pretty great.
Now, Frank, it sounds like we have some people on our streaming chat asking to know more about the Judge program. Can you tell us anything more about that?
Yeah, sure. During our big announcement that we had on, when was it? Wednesday, I believe. We made the big announcement about how our LCGs are going to be going through the restricting the card pool.
Oh yes, we're going to be changing some rotations too.
Yeah, we're going to be doing rotation on most of our LCGs. And there was also an announcement there that it was a small part of the whole thing, but it was about how we were going to be starting an official Judge program. When we do run some of our bigger events, we are going to have people that we feel very confident, know the rules incredibly well, well enough to officiate our events and really make our OP. Have some very that's a really important role here.
So that was sorry for breaking the discussion, but that was a 5 dice attack on one of these Talas. What?
I think he only had some. I think those are focuses.
A lot of focuses that he didn't get a chance to convert.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with these cameras. I think there was one hit.
Like one hit and 4
I think
focuses.
It's 4.
There's a crit
2.
there.
Okay.
Hitting a crit. But nothing the Tala couldn't live through.
Yeah, it has 4 health, and it's hard to really one shot a Tala.
I was wondering what you guys think. I think the only shot I have is I'll runner, and nothing else is in range.
So basically, that judges program, there, I wasn't there at the announcement, but it sounds like there's going to be some sort of, maybe a little bit of an assessment to find out how much you know of the game.
Yep, we're gonna have tests that you're gonna take to validate how familiar you are with the rules, confident you are with the FAQ, how you can handle disputes, that sort of thing. And we're going to try to really ramp up our OP events.
Whoa, we've got some damage here on Howl Runner. Just took 2.
She only has 3 hull.
There were so many green dice being rolled against that. Oof. But still it didn't work. These Tala Z95s are dealing a harsh reality against
Oh, a lot of green
Howl Runner. But Howl Runner dodged expertly on that. She needed that. Unfortunately, we've got a situation here where the rock might do the killing blow if we're not careful.
True.
I've played a couple of games where that was the case.
Oh yeah.
I was never on the receiving end of a death rock, but I've been able to ion people into rocks before.
And it just be the pa-boom.
And that's just insult to injury.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. However, is in an awkward position here since she doesn't really want to K-turn over that asteroid since she'll be stressed, probably have to hit it again, could be dead. Probably not getting a shot next round, depending on how things roll. Very interesting.
And the Falcon is ideally placed to swoop in or behind some asteroids and dog everybody. I'm going to guess that the Falcon may not get a shot at TIE Fighters this next attack round, just because he's so far out, but he's setting up for an awesome late game posture.
True.
There's no damage on him. These TIE Fighters just got pincered. Holy cow.
Weapon malfunction. That's not good. You don't want one attack die. That's not getting you very far. Rough.
All of these TIE Fighters are taking hits. Whisper's the only one who is.
This one has no shot, and this one has no shot. So
Whisper and one of the other TIE Fighters are the only ones unscathed. It's a rough position to be in.
Yeah. Paul's been doing really excellently here. We missed some of the rolls. I don't know how many Talas have taken any shields, but I believe there were a couple. Yeah, Paul's been doing some pretty good long-term plays here. Thinking about the next turn, being okay that he doesn't get shots, doesn't necessarily get actions. That's a big part of the game. Knowing where you're going to be, where you want to be later. Spending those opportunities to get target locks when you have no shot and you know no one's going to shoot you, that's a really big deal.
Well, this seems like a fantastic opportunity for all of these TIE Fighters to pull choreograms, try to sneak in behind those Z95s. The only real complication right now for that sort of strategy is Howl Runner. I don't like the position Howl Runner is sitting in on top of 2 damage, right behind an asteroid. She doesn't need to take a stressful maneuver through a rock, but that might be the only thing that Morgan can try to get any kind of flank rolling here.
Yeah, because man, that Phantom is in an awkward position too. I mean, that was a really great play by Paul because the Phantom can't go either way. She can't decloak right or left. She can only go straight or not decloak. Ideally, he does, and he gets a shot and can move on. But oh man, yeah, he has to decloak straight and then do his maneuver from there, or not decloak. it's possible Paul could do a turn there with one of the Talas and block the forward decloak as well. I don't know if Morgan's anticipating enough to have planned ahead to avoid that. He could plan it just as a backup case in case he does. He still has a maneuver out of there.
I'm just not sure how much I would care if I was Paul at this point about those Tala, except just keep them in the middle. Keep them engaging. Keep turning. Keep plinking. So much damage has already been done to the Imperial strategy right now. They've been caught in the middle of an asteroid field. Damage has been dealt to 3 of them, including their primary named pilot, Howlrunner. They are doing an awesome job, and Han's sitting pretty. Yep,
Yeah.
it's choreogram time.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Fortunately, his ties are in a decent position in that the Talas are not able to K-turn this turn because of the asteroids as well as the ships. So they're rather safe in that regard, but they are also doing a great job blocking the ties from doing much good. They're gonna have to lose actions or be vulnerable. Yeah, this is going well for Paul.
I would feel comfortable sacrificing those Talas.
Yeah.
They're not all going to die.
No.
They're going to get shots. And anything left in the middle to block Whisper is a good move. So we only had one TIE fighter commit to a choreogram. I could have seen all of them choreogramming.
True. Although the one is the damaged weapon malfunction, so he only has 1 attack die. I think that's why I had to do the hard turn there, try to recover it. It looks like he failed to do so. That's what that roll just was. Still has a damaged. Still has a weapon malfunction. Only 1 attack die. Not great. Yep. There's the Tala pulling up behind.
I've got to play with these Z95s more often.
Oh, they're great.
I've seen a lot of fantastic play. I'd all but discounted them completely as viable play options, but seeing some really, really interesting strategy play out.
Yeah, they're pretty big. I mean, they're arguably one of the Phantom and the Z95 may have been the largest thing to come out of Wave 4. They're pretty critical in giving the Rebels that filler ship that they needed.
So it looks like that Tala is going to have to move back along that maneuver template and land.
It's a little clumsy because the one block showing where the other one is underneath. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it'll be okay.
I think you got to. Well, he makes it barely. I mean, at least he doesn't ram Whisper again.
Yeah.
Whisper's going to have some room to maneuver, get out of this scrim.
I think they're just going to wait for a Whisper to move before getting that template out of there. Yep, going for the block for the front decloak. Yeah, I think Morgan anticipated this and is definitely going to do something about it.
So here's the damage count. Howlrunner has
2 damage.
2 damage. One Academy pilot has 2 damage. Another Academy pilot has 1 damage. A third Academy pilot and the Phantom are just fine. Nothing really remarkable happening against the Rebels. They're all pretty healthy. But a damaged TIE fighter is still dangerous.
Oh yeah, I mean, like most things in this game, it's not dead until it is. It can keep going. It's still a threat until it's dead. Trying to be safe and just jump over.
So Howlrunner's going to try to blast through with a long choreogram.
Not a choreogram.
Not a
it's
choreogram.
5 straight. Yeah,
it's 5 straight. Okay.
The ties have 4 and 3 Ks.
But we
not
got to roll a dice here.
This could be it for Howlrunner.
Let's try to get a really close shot of this red dice roll when it comes. We got to roll for this asteroid, boys.
He might have rolled for it earlier, actually.
When?
I think it was right before.
Oh.
I think made it. I think they rolled before trying to move, just because they had to move that TIE fighter and everything.
Boring. I was hoping for a really dramatic,
Yeah.
super zoom on the dice. Oh, we made it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think he just tried to get it out of the way real quick in case it was painful. You know, like pulling the Band-Aid off. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna just roll for it, and then it was fine. Yep, he was anticipating the decloak, because there's no way he could have done anything good if he could have decloaked. That would have put him off the board. He was anticipating a Tala, getting his way for the front decloak. So, yep. Not too many shots are going to be coming Imperial way. As far as the Talas will have, looks like 2 attacks.
They'll have one shot on Howlrunner, maybe. I mean, that would be the smart move.
Yeah, I think the other one might be barely out of arc or not Howlrunner. So I think it's going to be going for Howlrunner.
The Falcon's going to move in and just dog the Phantom. Cutting off a lot of options. I would not want to be Whisper just now, being forced to run. Because if Whisper wants to stay alive, he's going to have to do that. And he's going to have to make a right turn pretty quickly here. He'll decloak right, and then maybe take a hard right 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wants to turn and engage or get the heck out of there. We haven't resolved combat yet, so that always changes your plans. It looks like just barely range 2.
Whichever way this game goes, it's a pretty fantastic final round.
Oh yeah, this is great. Looks like that's range 3 through an asteroid. I think that might be a little difficult because the Tal is there.
You know, I'm gonna guess we're about 25, maybe 30 minutes in, and we haven't lost a ship yet.
True.
There's been a lot of posturing.
Yep.
There's been a lot of maneuvering, a lot of firing, some fantastic movement through asteroids.
Some very good blocking.
Yeah, we had people cheering when that Falcon.
Yeah, did the force right.
I mean, most of the time you cheer when a good shot comes off, but that is a testament to what people are really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would have been a huge game changer because he wouldn't have moved. All 5 of his ships could have attacked him. It would have been.
We got a minor hull breach on another Academy pilot. Ouch.
Probably not going to try to risk a K turn unless it's a game.
No
winner.
red maneuvers. No red maneuvers.
That guy has no shot. This one has a shot.
That one's rough.
He has a shot on this guy.
Not great. Crits are never good. Well, I like having crits in the game. They're great for the game. You don't want them, but they're great.
And it happens to everybody.
Yep,
when you get that awful crit, the direct hit, or the
damage sensor,
or the minor the minor explosion.
Minor explosion, almost as bad as a direct hit.
I think it's sometimes worse because it makes you're hopeful. Oh, good, it's not a direct hit. Okay, we just lost our first ship. It's an Academy pilot. Got blown away.
Yep.
First blood goes to the rebels. But this game is
lost Howlrunner 2.
far. Oh my gosh! Second ship down. Howlrunner takes a dive.
Down 32 points.
This
not
game.
That it's come to
This
come
game
to
just swung hard. We had an Academy pilot worth 12 points, and Howlrunner worth, is it 19 with
he's
Swarm?
20 with Swarm Tactics.
Worth 20 with Swarm Tactics. Big moves going on here. The Talos Squadron pilots are doing their job. nailing TIE fighters when they're weak. The Falcons doing some shooting.
Yeah, it looks like Imperials are down to only 62 points remaining.
Let's check the math on that. Howl Runner is worth 20 points.
Academies are 12, so
And
that's
the Academy
32.
is 12, so
98.
98 minus 22.
98 minus 32.
32?
98 minus 32.
You know, FFG doesn't pay us to be math people. I'm a graphic designer. I make things look pretty.
I'm embarrassed to say I'm a chemical engineer at this point.
So we make games.
Well, there's a reason I'm not a chemical engineer anymore. Maybe. No, I mean, took Calc 4, but can't do simple math.
Oh God, I went to art college to avoid math classes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But ironically, I do more math trying to figure out rule book dimensions than I ever thought I would have to really work on. So thanks for sticking with us and not hurting us too hard for our math incompetence, at least in the speaker end of things.
Oh man, yeah, this is it's not looking great for Morgan.
No, this game took a dramatic change. We lost a lot of points in that exchange.
Yep. I mean, the scary part about the Phantom is when you have that defense dice, you could block damage every single attack, and he could take a boatload. I mean, it could take a 5 dice attack before he takes any damage if he rolls evades all the time. But you know, just it really depends on how good his green are.
So, given the layout for the Imperials now, if you were sitting in Morgan's shoes,
Yeah.
would you take a more aggressive posture to start climbing the point ladder, or would you scatter and try running and saving yourself, hoping to reposition?
This is man.
Because I know what I would do. I would be tempted. I would be horribly tempted to turn and burn on that Falcon.
Yeah. It's tough here because the Phantom really needs to be plinking away at range 3, cloaking, getting out of there, coming back around. You know, it's getting those 4 dice attacks at range 1. Even though you get a 5 dice, taking that 4 dice back is too much. Like, he really has to be getting as much defense dice as he can, and hope it stays with him. He can't dodge arcs. Yeah.
These TIE fighters, these generic TIE fighters, are not in a great position
No.
to really help out Whisper all that much. We've got one pointing at some adverse Talas behind a rock. He's focused up. My guess is that guy is going to be soaking shots from a Falcon, big time.
Probably. I mean,
This round.
he's going to be pretty close. Talas haven't moved yet, so we don't know whether he'll be also taking shots from them.
We've got Tala 36 in the right hand side, positioning nicely to cut off a
decloak to the right.
a Phantom escape.
Yep. Phantom escape.
Thankfully, that's not the name of the next Star Wars film.
Yep. I forget what was it again?
The Force Awakens?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah. At the least, it's very similar to that. Yep. Tala turns in against the tie there.
I really hate to put nails in coffins. I really do, especially when there's a a match I'm very excited to see going, but I feel like the tide is swaying in the Rebel direction this time.
Yep, you can't. Blocks to the right. Blocks to the right.
Gonna have to decloak to the left, putting
or not decloak, but he could decloak through that ship if necessary. He could go further down. I think he's thinking about it. He knows where he's going after this, so it might be better to be back where he's pointing there. He might decloak there.
I mean, given his initial decloak kind of hopes, it feels like his dial is going to reveal a hard right turn.
Yeah, something big. Oh.
Whoa, that's interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, he did what you said. He's going for the aggressive approach.
Turn and burn on the Falcon, although he's currently not at an angle to do anything to a Falcon just now.
Man. He's not recloaked, it looks like. He's thinking about it.
What?
He might. Oh man.
I feel like he has to if he wants any chance to survive this Falcon. Or what is he going to do?
He could barrel roll. That's the thing. He can always barrel roll, try to go back a little bit, and hope that Han's in his arc and he's able to shoot at him.
But then you're talking about a 2 evasion dice. Well, no.
Oh, no, he can recloak.
No,
he'll get
his recloak. That's right. Okay, so it's not awful for him, but if he doesn't get a shot,
he's not in a great position.
He doesn't cloak again.
He doesn't.
Oh
yeah.
Scary. I think I would take the cloak action and just hope to survive a round of fire, get behind for once in this game, for the first time, get behind the Falcon.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna. Yep.
He's gonna try. He's gonna try for it. So here's hoping, at least for the Imperial's sake, that the Falcon tries to cut a little wide around the asteroid, and maybe
if he turns right, it's all over.
Maybe the Whisper will get a shot.
Okay.
Whoa! Here we go. Awesome. Okay. So.
Okay.
What an interesting scenario.
Yikes.
So.
Oh man, he has a target lock, range 1. Not enough to really do much. I mean, he could hopefully.
You'll strip shields with that, won't you?
Yep.
It'll be a 5 dice attack.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, incredibly rare. No, never mind. He has 3PO. Otherwise, he could 5 dice get a crit through blinded pilot and just be safe. But yeah, he's got 3PO, so he's at least immune to all that damage.
3PO and R2D2.
And R2D2.
Which, if any damage makes it through, is just going to help R2D2.
Yep.
Like, trigger his ability.
It's true. Losing that last shield or not, giving him that damage card is going to have a minor, but, effect. It'll have an effect in the game.
But this...
5 dice.
Fairly potent, but...
didn't get what he needed.
Not good enough.
Only 2 hits.
Not good enough.
And 1 of 8.
1 of 8. So the weakest possible positive attack that Phantom could have made.
Yep, damage. And he reflects for the focus.
If he had spent that focus,
he just got it. It's Whisper's ability.
Oh, that's
right.
Got it back. That's right.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, is he just gonna ignore the Phantom entirely and just go for the Academy there? It looks like that's what his plan is. Interesting.
I mean, that is.
He will have 2 shots.
That is statistically a better.
It is
a better option.
And if he's gonna have 2 shots on it, because he'll have the Falcon, he'll have that Tallow there. There's a chance he could just take him out. And also, if he takes it out with Han's attack, then the Bandit he won't get a shot back. What's this? Predator.
4 focuses.
Wow.
All converting to hits. That TIE fighter is
not gonna have a good day.
Toast.
Oh, yep. No anything. All blanks.
Boom.
He has range 2.
Yeesh.
It's a dark day for the Empire. So we just lost another 12 points, bringing us to 54. It's going to be a tall order for these Imperials to climb out of that point deficit.
Yep. And also, he's already blocked from the front decloak. The right one is dangerous.
The
left one,
the left one is troublesome.
It is. I think he has just enough range there. Oh, he has a crit on the one that's alive. What is that? It's minor hull breach, I think. Oh, that's the red maneuvers take damage possibly. So probably not going to K-turn.
That TIE fighter has very few options.
Yeah, if he wants to turn left, which would be great, because he'd be more likely to get an attack on something. He'll lose his action. Then the Tala behind him will just pop him. Yeah, this is not looking good. Not looking good for the Imperials. I think there might be just enough space to decloak to the left. Oh, man. That's really close.
I think that's his best option, though. I think he has to try it.
Yeah.
He has to try it. He has to get away somehow. But he's going to be taking shots in any direction he tries to go here.
Yeah, he's too close to the Falcon to get out of there.
Because the Falcon has those super annoying hard one
turns
that it can pull. Like, oh, I'm just going to pivot on a dime here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can still shoot at you. Oh, that's too bad for you.
Yep.
When I'm playing against those Falcons, I hate those moves. I really, really hate those moves.
Yeah, I mean, on a large base like that, you almost stay in the same place. I mean, you move a lot, but as far as maneuvers on a large ship, you're more or less in the same place. Yeah, I think wow, that is super tight as far as the decloak to the left. You could go for the safe decloak to the right and then do a big turn, maybe shoot at that Tala, recloak, but he'll be super close to the Falcon.
Well, the safety, that's an interesting option now that I'm thinking about it. The safety to the right, maybe trying to cut in and let the Falcon hit you.
Yeah.
So he can't shoot at you.
True. He could decloak right, hard turn one to the left.
Do some action denial.
Yep. Or
get a shot.
Yep.
Off at one of those Talas and try to stay in the game that way.
Yeah, ideally you want the Falcon to hit you because then it can't attack you.
But
Paul's of course anticipating this.
But that's assuming that Falcon's going to turn in.
Yeah.
If I was playing the Falcon now with Paul, I would turn the Falcon left, just a little bit.
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe even a hard. Can they do a hard 2 or a hard 3?
Yeah, they can do a hard 2. They can't do a hard 3.
I might do a hard 2 just to put myself in the corner and create another wide arc wherever that Phantom decides to go. But if I was the Phantom, I don't think I'd choose to run. I think I'd try to block by doing a back decloak barrel roll with a hard 2 or a hard 3, just trying to get in that sweet spot of where the Falcon is
probably going to go.
But
if he turns right instead, then you're just exposing yourself.
We're going to see really quick here, but that's what's taken Morgan so much time, is deciding where that Phantom's going to go.
It's the only dial that's left.
He doesn't know what to do.
Decisions.
So it's in moments like this I wish we had like a little like Texas Hold'em poker camera, kind of off to the side.
Oh, so you can see him going through the dial.
Where you see the person deliberating through the dial.
Yeah.
And you see them stop. Oh, I think you should do that.
Yeah, deliberating.
That'd be so nerdy.
It would. You see him. He's like, oh, is it a 1 turn to the left, 3 bank to the left? You can see him rotating. You kind of see him think in a way. Oh wow.
But then, you know what? As soon as we come up with that idea, the very next competitive season, we're going to have people like with text devices or something texting the guys at the table like, oh, the guy's totally going to do this. Nope.
Yeah, probably, it might be for the best.
It's better that we're not filming everything.
Right. I guess we could just delay it enough that no one could see any information from that, but then you'd have the leaks of the people that are standing there telling everybody the end of it, and we'd lose the surprise there. So Yeah, I don't know what we could do there.
Right now, I think it's important for me to reiterate how very much more exciting this game becomes in this stage when we're deliberating about our actions. We're trying to outthink our opponents.
Yep. This is what makes this game.
These
honestly.
guys are stressed, right? Like, can you imagine how much like brain strain Morgan was under to try to figure out where he's going to put Whisper? But
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
This is his 5th game today.
Even when no, is this his 5th? I thought.
Yeah. He went 6-0 in the flight leading up to this.
Okay.
So on Thursday he didn't lose a single match, and then of course he hasn't lost a single match yet. So he's been really flying high.
This is game 10 total for the weekend.
Yeah. He only played in flight 1, so he didn't actually have to do it again. And Paul Heaver played only in day 2, and just didn't lose at all. So that's we got some really good players here.
I don't think I could be playing quite so steadily on my 10th game in 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I love playing. I think the greatest number of games I've played. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna try it.
Right.
Excellent. I hope. I honestly, I hope this works.
Now the Tala got rather far away, so even if he does a turn to shoot at him, it's going to be probably range 3. Unless it's a big bank or big turn, but then he's probably not blocking the Falcon. Oh man, what is he doing? Gives his game of millimeters.
Man, God, it's so nitpicky how close that's going to be. Whoa! Whoa!
Yep.
What a move!
Went for the 3 bank, hoping the Falcon did a hard turn. I mean,
that's not what I would have anticipated, but gutsy, and that certainly would have been the safest move for the Falcon to make, to go left and still have arcs on the Phantom there.
Yep. I mean, he could have turned right as well. Maybe should have the tie.
What is it? What is it? That looks like a left turn. That looks like a left one. Yes.
I think it is.
Yes.
Is this the? Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh! Is it a hit? Is it a hit?
Yeah. There's no way. This is my least favorite part of the game. Trying to resolve large ships overlapping, especially on the one turn. This is the worst thing to resolve. But
oh God! But I love seeing it resolved. Like all the deliberation we were doing, the stress was got to be twice as much for these guys. Anticipating
it. Yeah. So hit him. So
that is the best case scenario.
Just leave it off. Yeah.
Best case scenario for Morgan right here, blocking with his strongest ship. Attack denial gets range 2 on the Tala.
Had the focus.
Is going to spend his focus because he knows he's not going to get shot at. 2 hits and a crit. What's the evade? Focus, nothing.
Nothing.
He gets hit.
Stress.
Is that it? He takes
hit, crit. Yeah.
Boom, gone.
Dead.
Oh, that's exactly
that
what he needed.
Oh wow.
Exactly what he needed to do. Blow away that Tala.
Oh wow. Big deal.
The game is not over. It is not over by a long shot. If Whisper can keep doing that, action denying, attack denying on the Falcon. I mean, it's going to be a little hard now, right?
Yeah.
He just decloaked.
Hit a crit.
We got a hit and a crit.
Looks probably 2 fades there. Yep. Not dead yet.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's some tight playing right there.
Yep. I mean, this is how Morgan got here. He had to think through all the possibilities of where Paul was probably going to go, maybe going to go. Rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, paper. And then it worked out.
He picked it. He picked it perfect.
Perfect.
If he had
one turn to the right, it'd be so much worse.
If he had even decloaked like a little bit farther away, the Falcon might have made it.
Yeah, not again, just game changer. Okay.
The game is still in Paul's court. He's got numerical superiority in the number of ships.
Yep.
He's got a nearly full health. Looks like there's only 2 shields taken off of the Falcon. So the Falcon is very, very dangerous.
Yes.
Those Talas are still very, very dangerous. He's got Morgan on the ropes, but I have seen Whisper, and I've seen Suter Fells in similar situations pull out wins.
Oh yeah.
It's entirely possible, and Whisper is so maneuverable now. He has a lot of options to keep going with. So we're doing all right. This is still a tense game. There's still a lot of gameplay left.
Something break there. I'm not sure how much this TIE fighter is going to be able to contribute on this next turn here. I think it's mostly going to be a chase me type situation.
I don't know. If I was the Talas, I'd completely ignore him. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm done.
The more dice you can throw at the Phantom, the more likely he is to eventually just fail his defense dice. I think it's in Morgan's best interest to tempt the Talas to follow him and then fail to kill him. That's the less guns on the Phantom, the better. All right, finally picked the hardest dial to choose, the Phantom, and we're starting. A little one turn.
That TIE fighter can still kill things.
It still can.
I mean, he's got work cut out for him. Those Talas are pretty strong. I don't think either of them.
I think I saw that one of them was missing at least one shield.
But really, they have.
They're still not. They're not dead.
They're not in trouble. They're not in trouble by any means.
Oh,
and,
no.
and only a range 1 attack from that TIE fighter is really going to change things on those Talas at all.
Yeah, the most threatening thing.
But it would be folly for Paul to completely discount them like I suggested. Because I've played a number of games too where the last ship on the board was a lone Academy pilot.
Right. Earning his stripes, just taking names. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he doesn't really want to turn his back to that Academy pilot because, like you're saying, not dead. He can still do damage. It might be in his best interest to just, get rid of him while he can, but it's always hard to tell.
So what do you think Whisper is going to do?
Oh, man. We spent too much time talking about other stuff. I had not run through the calculations there, but I mean, honestly, if he can keep blocking the Falcon, great. But at the same time, he still needs to do damage to it. It has a lot of health. If he can do, I mean, best case scenario, blocks the Falcon, kills a Tala. But I have no way he could do that. I mean, if he decloaks to the right, does a hard turn to the left, and the Falcon hits him, I guess.
Because there's no time limit.
Yeah.
This game does not end when there's still a ship on either side on the board.
Oh yeah.
So Morgan has to go for the complete kill.
Oh yeah, he can't just shoot for points like in previous rounds here.
I mean, he could run away now, away from the Falcon, and completely destroy those tiles, but he's still gonna have the same problem.
Yep.
He's gonna have a bloody Falcon on top of him.
It's true. All right, Tala moving up, trying to get some. Is he gonna target lock this time? Nope. Focus.
So those Talas are going to split up, and
I was thinking about that Tala just moved there. I was wondering, would it have been better for him to target lock because, I mean, statistically they behave the same except you can get crits instead of hits, which you could never get from a focus. But if he rolls well, he keeps it for the next round. At the same time, depending on what the Phantom does, he could be able to shoot that Tala and then he'd need that focus for defense. But it looks like he's going a completely different way. So that Tala is going to be okay. He'll be able
Oh
to,
goodness, what is this Phantom doing? We're going for the block again.
maybe.
That's that.
Wow.
Or are we cutting through the asteroids?
Possibly. He might be just trying to hunt down that one Tala that's hunting his Academy tie. Deliberations.
That could be a pretty slick move.
Yeah.
A side slip decloak here with a hard 2 or 3 to the left.
Yeah.
Puts you in the middle of the asteroids. Maybe an additional barrel roll to get some extra space, and then cloak.
Yeah, the hard part, though, is you don't really want to play too much in the asteroids when you're Phantom, because you got to worry about decloaks. And if there's too many, if you're denying yourself all those options, it can be pretty bad. We had that issue earlier. I think it was like 2 turns ago. He couldn't get any decloaks, and it was only helped by Paul by blocking one of them, and he had to just not take an attack.
So now you got some interesting deliberation. At which elevation does he decide to decloak at? He's going to go high for the hard 1.
Hard 1, interesting.
That's weird. But I guess
and he recloaks.
I guess it makes.
Recloaks.
I'm not quite sure what the idea was behind that, because the Falcon's going to be right on top of him.
Yeah, range 1.
Range 1, shooting through a cloaking device. So it's going to be 4 dice against
He is Predator.
against 5 evade.
He's on. He can do his own thing. Rebel Captive there, kicking off again, giving him a stress. Have we actually had Rebel Captive actually do anything? I can't recall.
Holy crap.
Oh,
We've
crit?
got 2 crits with a focused pair of hits. So 2 hits, 2 crits.
Is that oh,
Dear.
is that 3 or 2? Lost some shields.
Spend it, yeah.
This looks like the Tala here against the tie.
So one card gets through.
Oh boy. TIE Fighter's gone.
This is looking pretty grim.
So we lost another 12 points on Morgan. That's
Nothing.
really hard.
Wow.
That's really hard. Did that Phantom skip all the damage that went at it? I didn't quite tell.
I can't either.
We got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah. He's got a lot of hull to cut through. Yeah, the Falcon's in a pretty good position here. You can just follow along as the Phantom skips merrily through the asteroids. I don't know if he can fit a forward decloak there. He might just barely clip that asteroid, or at the very least, whatever maneuver he does afterwards might hit it. So it's a risky play.
I'm wondering if he might try to go for the right decloak forward with maybe a long 3 bank.
Well, as seeing his earlier games and this game as well, he's been really favoring that hard 1 turn after the decloak. So I could see him going decloak right, hard turn left, maybe try to block the Falcon again, shoot at the other Tala. That's always an option. He could decloak forwards, do a turn. He could decloak to the left, hit an asteroid, but not be in a position anyone would really anticipate him being.
What would you do?
Man, I just have the 1 chip.
Because my inclination is to put as much distance between me and the Falcon as possible.
Yeah, but
because I just don't have a whole lot of faith in green dice, to be honest with you.
Ideally, you never have to roll them. You just always avoid everything, but you can't always do that, especially when you have a Falcon on the other side.
But the asteroids might be the safest bet, because the Falcon will have a hard time getting through them.
Yeah, but with his turret, he doesn't necessarily need to play. He can just skim the outside, and he has engine upgrades. So, and also moving second is kind of hurting Morgan in that Han can move, and and then boost if need be to get into arc. But he needed it to be able to shoot first, so it's a double-edged sword having initiative.
Looks like the Talos are moving in for support.
Yep, I'd target lock right now because you're probably not getting a shot, probably not getting shot at. Looks like he's reaching for him. You gotta focus closer. Yep, target lock. Oh yeah, from this angle it looks like that front decloak would not be a good play.
I don't think that's gonna work.
No.
What? He's gonna do it.
From this angle it looks safe.
Yeah, this angle looks fine, but we do have a little fisheye lens going on. Oh, that's clean.
Yeah.
That's totally clean.
I think he's fine.
Nice.
A big bank there. Yeah.
Bank 3.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Asking for some help.
Dun, 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 dun.
He's gonna clip an asteroid. It looks like. Get your head out of the way, Alec.
Yeah. Looks like it clips.
Oh no! Does he land on an asteroid? Oh.
Oh, this could be
Oh
really
crap!
terrible. Oh.
He clips.
Hit this asteroid, you do not hit this asteroid.
Oh. Oh, looks like he doesn't hit.
Oh, he takes the damage from it.
Quarter of his health.
He loses the ability to take an action. He cannot cloak. He's running as fast as he can through those asteroids.
If he can shoot that Tala, he can recloak.
Takes one
damage.
damage.
Man, he lost shields.
He had his shields gone.
He must have lost shields from that Han attack.
We did not get a chance to see that attack happen. This is troublesome.
Oh man.
In this situation, if Han has any angle, that could be it.
If I heard Alex correctly, I don't think he hit that second asteroid there.
No. So that means he does get that. Phantom does get to shoot at the Tala. Move the target lock token. Move it. Okay. He's got one. Oh, he's still in this. He's not taking a shot from the Falcon yet. But the Falcon's gonna boost here. That will give him an opportunity through a rock. It looks like.
Yeah. But hey, an attack's an attack. Here's the Phantom, range 2. See what he can do. At least strip the focus token. And man, he's been on a lot of eyeballs there.
A crit. Nothing.
Does he have shields? Had one shield. Oh, and 2 shields. Yeah, this is not great.
But he just cloaked and he got his focus. Thank goodness. Phantom's still in it.
Yep, but again, having to go through those asteroids, I don't know if he can decloak to the left. He might, if he's alive, of course, but.
It'll be a range 3.
Yeah,
it's
Paul
threw a rock.
Paul's been playing some very good long-term strategy this game. He's been really thinking through his plays and thinking of the consequences. This has been going really well for him.
Crit, hit, focus, result.
Oh, he predatored. He had a boost.
Look at all those dice. Look at all those evades. That's probably the only time you're going to see that many evades pop up on a giant dice roll like that.
Yeah, cloaked through an asteroid. No. I've had interceptors die like that, but
the Tala does 2 damage. Oh no! What? The Tala took out the Phantom. That's game over. Rebels win.
Paul, returning champion.
World champion 2 years in a row. Paul Heaver.
Excellent.
Congratulations. That was some fantastic play. Holy cow.
A well-deserved second champion there.
What a game. What a game.
That was incredible.
Well, folks, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a pretty epic conclusion to the X-Wing tournament here. Lots of fantastic builds. We had some amazing Whisper Swarms. One of them made the final table here. We had some awesome Fat Han builds using a variety of Janors, Flying the Crow, some Tala support like we saw at the table. Lots of experimental stuff too. I was
really impressed by that, of the top 32. I mean, you would have some of the stuff I had not anticipated seeing do that well. I mean, there was an 8 bandit swarm. There was what else is there? Oh man, I'm blanking. I know there were 2 that had a falcon and a hawk that had done that well. And honestly, that would have been really exciting because we never had a falcon win until today, and we've never had a hawk do that well. So that would have been really impressive. What else have we seen? There were some 7. I think there were a couple 7-tie swarms. There was just
we had some TIE bomber swarms.
Oh, I love that one. The bomber with all the proxy mines. That was really exciting.
Also some a number of multiple shuttle lists.
Yep.
Buzzsaw shuttles, as they're called.
Yeah.
Some Doom shuttles. An amazing array of just talented, expert players. Really, we're talking about the cream of the X-Wing crop playing here at our 2014 World's Championship. Awesome.
It was incredible.
Awesome.
I had a really great showing. You should stay tuned to our website. I know we're going to be posting a lot of the top lists. Mm-hmm. You'll see the breakdown of the number of players during both waves. We had a lot of Rebels, a lot of Imperials. I'm really impressed with how the game's going right now. It's not favoring one side too heavily. We've had a lot of list diversity. This game is very healthy right now.
For all of you out there on the web, it is possible to counter phantoms. It is absolutely possible to counter phantoms.
They're scary, but you can take them down.
They can be taken down, and this last phantom died by the hands of a unnamed Z-95 pilot. Awesome. Fantastic. So we still have a few finals left. We have Warhammer 40,000 Conquest slated for coverage very soon. I think we're also going to have an interview interspersed here or there, but we've got one more day of gameplay. So keep track of the schedule. Look forward to probably an interview with Paul Heaver again on our website, if not, very shortly on camera here too. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Chris Beck.
And I'm Frank Brooks.
And fly casual, folks. X-Wing.
X-Wing.